Hey everyone, I will show you today step by step how you can model this hard surface product design in Plasticity. And this product is very interesting because we have here this smooth, interesting curved connection. And yeah, we will use some surface modeling techniques for this. So let's dive in. And just a quick reminder, my big Plasticity summer sale is ending in about 1 week. So if you're interested in more complex modeling, like modeling a car, modeling a helmet, motorcycle, power tools, whatever, then you can check out my courses and my bundles. First link in the description, where I guide you step by step through the absolute most important and most powerful tools that you need over and over to model any of those objects. Everything is step by step. And also I have a massive everything bundle where all of my courses are included. So you always have access forever, of course, for them. So you can go step by step through them. So if you just don't know where to start to model a product, a car, whatever, a concept, what you want, and you don't know where to start, how to start, what is important, what is not important, in this bundle I guide you completely absolute step by step. And it gets more and more complex throughout this bundle. So yeah, this is kind of the complete solution if you're just interested to learn 3D modeling in Plasticity. So first, also link in the description from that image. As always, I have it here open in PureRef, the program, so you can just drag that in so it always stays on top. And let's dive into Plasticity. Press tab and let's with X delete the cube and go to the front view. And first of all, we want to establish here the very main circular shape. And then we will also create those inner circular shapes. And then we will start to close all those gaps with the surfaces. Then we will do this interesting part and do some really cool workflows and techniques here with some surface modeling to create this complex little shape here. So front view, and let's start here with the center circle and just snap it here to the axis, and let's just create one of them. And now while this is selected, press Alt X to mirror and bring it back. And if you don't like the proportions, if it's too high or too low, just press Escape, select the curve, press G for the move, and just adjust it a little bit. And again, you can just press Alt X and bring it to the other side just to get more or less the proportions right. So something like that should be fine. And we are still in front view, create a line and just snap here on the 3/4 and make sure that you snap here where it says 10, 10, means tangent, tangent, right click, Shift A to again create the new line and just snap here 1/4. And again, make sure that you're snapping here where it's saying tangent, tangent. Perfect. And we don't really need those curves in the inside. So just go here to trim to the scissors or press T and just trim this guy and this guy away. Right click to confirm. And now press 2. Then you're in edge mode. Select all of those curves or edges and press J to join them. So we just have one continuous curve. And that looks amazing. And now let's create this shape here and this shape. So again, two circular shapes. And there are a lot of different ways, but just to show you some variations. So for the shape below, you can again press 2, select this curve and press O to offset. And let's just offset this a little bit. So again, it's like very eyeballing here, something like that. And now press 1 to get into the point mode and only select your middle 2 points here from the top. And with G, you can just adjust this shape here a little bit. So for now, something like that. And now we need a circle here at the top. And the circle should be the exact same distance as those 2 points. So very simple, you can just create the center circle. And you see we can even snap here to the center of this circle and just snap it here and just snap it again to the point and G for the move. And now with Control click, you can snap it again here to the center out of the circle, right? So this is fine. And maybe I just want to bring them a little bit closer. So again, press 1, select those points, G, and just bring them up a little bit, because we want here, we will do this later, a nice connection. And so now we have kind of the sketch. And now let's bring, so in edge mode, select those two curves, and with G, bring them a little bit to the front. So we have here a little bit of a distance as we have here. So something like that should be fine. And now let's just extrude this a little bit back. So select this curve, press E for extrude, and you can just extrude this and create here this nice little surface like that. And now what we want to do is we want to create this whole surface which goes around. So basically this surface in the middle. And because you see it also always looks the same. So it's very, very simple. We can, and we know that this surface will connect to our circle here, right? So it will connect those two curves. So what we can do is just press select line and just snap from one endpoint to the other. Press 1, make sure it's connected. So in this example, it has to be purple. And now go to the top view, select this curve, and just press Shift S so we can subdivide it, because we have this new little point. Because also you see we have a little bit of a rounding, right? So we just want to drag this a little bit out. So we just give it like a little bit more kind of an organic feel. So don't go too hard, right? So just a tiny bit. But again, it's eyeballing. Just do it as in your reference or as you like, and something like that. And now what we want to do is we just want to, send it on a run around this curve. So we want to sweep it. So select this curve and press F and type in sweep. So by the way, if you press F, right, then you find all of the commands. So, but we need sweep. So type in sweep, and then you can just select this curve, and voila, it's swept around. And because this circle was the same measurements distance like this curve here, it will always touch. So it's exactly what we need. Select this curve and this curve and press H just to hide it, because for now we don't need it anymore. Perfect. So now let's create first here this connection between those circular shapes, and then let's start to fill in our nice surface here. For that, again, there are like thousands of different ways how we can do it, but one that I will just show to you, we can just trim a little bit around. And so you can take a center rectangle and snap it here to the center, and make sure that you press C so you go in both directions, right? So we have to cut a little bit. So let me show you. We have to cut like this curve away and this curve, because then we will have here an endpoint, here an endpoint, and here an endpoint. And then we can just bridge those curves and create a nice shape exactly as we have here, okay? So again, just follow along. It will make sense in a second. Center rectangle somewhere here, but make sure that you snap to a curve, because then it will be on the same plane, and we can just trim it in a second. So something like that. So here you have definitely have to try sometimes a little bit out till you get the right distance. Something like that. Make sure everything is light blued, because then you are sure everything is on one plane. And now you can just press T for trim and just trim everything away. Just so exactly as we did here, right? So we only are left with those shapes here. And now again, let's go to the front view so we just see it better. And now press 1 and only select those two endpoints, and now just loft them. And you see we get here G1. So if you press tab, you can cycle through the continuity. And we have to see what will work out. but G2 here in this example should work. So it does not matter, you can also go with G1, but let's select those 2 points, press L and G2, because I just like this curve here a little bit more. You can also press D and adjust the distance, but just for now, for the tutorial, should be fine. And we have something like that. And press 2, and now we have something very interesting, because now we have established here some place for this surface, but this surface is here a little bit in our way. So we want to cut this piece away. And where do we want to cut this piece? If you press 1, exactly where the circle starts again, right? So press 3, select this face here, and now important command, press F and isoparam this one. So basically just in other words, like add an extra edge. I have it on Control R, isoparam, and now press tab, we have to change the direction and just snap here to this point. So you see, you can snap where the circle starts to go. So snap it like here, and let's just do it on the other side. Yes, we can also mirror it over, but just do it 2 times, because then you will just better understand it. So the first time I will do it very slowly together with you step by step. The second I will just do it, and you can do it on your own. So you can just memorize. So again, select the face with 3, and now F, isoparam. So I can definitely recommend it. Right click shortcut and put it on Control R, because you use it all the time. So isoparam, and again press tab and snap here. Perfect. Select face again with 3 face mode. Select those faces and Shift X and Shift X exactly, and something like that. Perfect. So now, as I call it, we have a closed hole, right? And so a hole which is like surrounded by edges and curves, so we can start to patch or loft or whatever. And here you have to see, and before you start to patch anything, first of all, you have to make sure that all sheets are connected. So just go here to object mode, select everything, press J, so you just are connected, and just select all of those edges here. So while everything is selected, just patch it. And you see this works. So press G1 and here G1, but we have a little problem because we can't give here G1 obviously, right? Because we have a sharp edge. So this needs to be G0, but you see the shape is not exactly what we want. It goes too much inside. We want it here at least a little bit more straight, and there's like a very nice trick for that. And I want to show it to you, and no one really shows you that how to fix those little issues. So we want to create here a little supporting edge, right? So this will be not edge, a surface. So this will be our supporting surface. Okay, it looks a little bit LSD with all the colors, but I think you understand what we mean, because then we have here an edge which belongs to the surface that we will create, and at this point we can then give G1, and this will give us a little bit of a curve. So we can also build some curves and do a lot of stuff. But again, I just want to show you different ways how to solve certain problems. So for that, again, press 3 face mode, select this face. And again, we have to add an extra edge. So isoparam, press F, isoparam, and just a little piece, so something like that. And do the same here, select the face, isoparam, and somewhere here. And now we can just select those 2 edges and loft them with G1, or G2 does not work, you see, because then it gets kind of like broken. So just tap G1, that's perfect, and shift click this edge and give it here G0. So it's just make sure that it's connected, and everything looks fine. Perfect. Press 4, select all the surfaces, press J to join them. And now let's try again. Press 2 and just select here those guys and patch it. And this time, bam, you can give it here G1 and here G1 and here G1, and you see now it's much, much better. So yes, it gets flat here, but here as well. But yeah, you see, yeah, look here, bam. or you see we have here like a nice continuous kind of surface ongoing. So I like that. Obviously it can look maybe a little bit different for you, so just experiment a little bit around, but it very depends like on the shapes that you have and the proportions. So if it does not look 100% exact, just literally delete it and try to do just again or something, you know. So yeah, it's not wasted time. You will just practice it one more time and you will just get the feeling for the proportions. Okay, so we can do the same here at the left. Again, select the face, Control R, isoparam. So this is my personal shortcut, search for isoparam. Somewhere like here, press 2, select those edges, loft them with G1, shift click G0, press 4, join all of the surfaces, press 2 edge mode, and let's select everything here. And xNURBS still not working, but that's fine. Patch works too, and let's give it here everywhere G1. And oh look guys, look how smooth this looks. I really like that. I mean, I know it's not 100% perfect, but it's just coming back, readjust. But yeah, that looks very nice. And now let me think. Oh yeah, now what we want to do is, because this is also an interesting part, you see we have, so I will not do the details here, but so you should do them after the tutorial just to finish then, but yeah, that's like way too simple, nothing interesting to learn. But here again, you see we have like this nice flat surface, but then it goes like inwards, right? So we have this nice little detail, like here. And for that also pretty simple, let's press 2, select, edge mode, select everything. So this way our blue curves will be selected, and hide them for now. And first of all, let's close everything with the flat surface. So very simple, edge mode, alt, click. So you select this whole loop and now just patch it. So again, press F, patch, right? So just patch it and obviously leave it as G0. Just as some fun, I just press tab to see what we are getting here, but yeah, obviously that's a joke. So G0, just a flat surface. And now, so this will be here our bottom part, right? So then here you can start to add later all of the details, but now let's do this one. So here you see we need a circle which is like a little bit more inside. Very simple, we create just another circle again. And we can already snap here to the center out of this edge. So this is, yeah, I really like how that works in Plasticity, and make it something like that. So as you see, obviously a little bit smaller. And now with G, just bring it a little bit to the inside. So don't worry if you don't get the distance right, because we don't see what we are doing. Because until this point somewhere, we have a straight surface, right? So this surface goes onto somewhere here. It's flat, and then it starts to round in, right? So we can do this exactly again with so we have to add a edge here, and then we can delete that and then do some surface modeling. So select the face, press F, search for isoparam, and let's just give it right now for the tutorial here in the middle, the edge, and select this face, shift X to delete it. And this looks nice. And now what to do? So let's select this curve in edge mode and patch it as well. So we create a surface, and let's hide this curve, and perfect. And now what we want to do is, so again, this will be here. So this area, this will be here our complicated situation kind of, right? So because you're watching this tutorial, and you know, with me, nothing is complicated because we have surface modeling and plasticity. And once you know how to do it, you can literally fix any problem in this world. And this is so exactly what I teach, like in my courses, in much more depth, with much more repetition, so it really burns like into your brain. So it's not like when you model your own stuff, it's like, oh, how can I do it? You just do it when you have practice, because it just makes sense, right? So exactly as with our little camera here. So we want first to establish some clean, simple surfaces until we are left with the complex thing, and then we just give it to some patch operation. So let's do it by analyzing here our geometry, because you see we have here an interruption and here as well, right? So if we take those edges, those are split here. So we can directly also split somewhere here and here on the circle. So for that, I can just use a line and just snap to this point, and just like in 45 degrees, just snap it here and create another line, Shift A, do the same on the right and something like that. And also here we have a split. So again, if you check out those two edges, they are split here in the middle. So let's do it again. Line, snap to this point and just drag that in. Again, create the line, snap here, drag that in. And now we have set up everything. Select with edge mode all of those curves, and now imprint. So we want to imprint them onto our disk here. Press F and imprint. I have a Shift 1 because I use it also all the time. So imprint, select the disk, right click and select the curves and just hide or delete them. And we have something like that, because now we can start to create here some straight lofts. So select this piece and this piece, press L, tap, tap, and you see you have a perfect surface like that. Let's do the same here. Select both edges, press L, tap, tap, G0, because we want a sharp corner. And also here at the end, this big one and this edge and loft, tap, tap, and shift click here and shift click here. We're just doing that our loft will connect to the surface, right click, and this looks perfect, because now if we press 4, we select all of those different sheets and join them to one piece. And now you are left with this nice shape, and this looks very doable for patch or xNURBS. So you can just alt click and, for example, xNURB that and give it here G1, G1, and G1. And if you right click, yeah, guys, look, it's just beautiful. But obviously you can also just use it patch. So patch, and you see it looks exactly the same. Perfectly beautiful result. And this is also again what I teach just in my courses. I mean, why I'm telling you that now, because a lot of people think, oh, I need xNURBS, I need Studio. But the thing is, not everybody of you does that professionally, like in a freelance setting, or not for works, but rather like for hobby, you know. So maybe you don't even need xNURBS. And this is the whole point of all of my courses. Like literally every course of mine uses the 100% the indie tools, no xNURBS, nothing crazy, nothing super advanced, nothing professional. You know, for me, it's just important to use the most important tools. So first of all, understand them and then use them and create basically literally every complex object that you can imagine, even the car modeling, without any xNURBS. Which is very unheard of that anyone else does that. So, and you have it here in the course, absolutely completely step by step here. You can check it out. I don't know, it's amazing. So if that interests you, check out first link below the description. Still summer sale, the last week ongoing. First link below this video, check this out. And if not, fine, then I would be happy if you leave me a like and subscribe, so you also don't miss my next videos, and see you in the next one. Have a nice day. Bye.